Welcome back to the new year and my mini-series, New Year, Pole New You. This is part 3. In part 1, we talked about setting up your dream home pole studio. In part 2, we talked about choosing your dream in-person studio. Now we've reached the third and final part. So you're not on the pole yet. You've ordered your pole and X-Pole emailed you saying, "Congratulations, you'll see it in 6 weeks." You've signed up for classes and they don't start for another month. What are you supposed to do with all this time before your pole journey can start? Is there anything you can do? Well, sure, there are lots of things that you can do in order to step into this next journey of your life with your best foot forward, and I'm here to tell you about them. First, let's talk about preparing yourself physically for your pole journey. To be clear, at no point am I going to advise you to lose weight, trim down, slim up, or any of those euphemisms that we use to refer to shrinking ourselves. If you have a problem with me not telling you to lose weight, then check out my body image video in my ... and pole dancing series. So as we carry on, just remember, I don't want you to shrink your body. I'm going to tell you how to prepare it for the, frankly, very hard work ahead. If you're already somebody who works out a lot or maybe engages in other aerial activities, you can sort of zone out, and I'll flash a pretty color on the screen to let you know when to zone back in. But if you're a fitness newbie, I've got some hot tips for you, and some of these things I already mentioned in my Answering Your Pole Questions video, but I'll talk about them here as well. You can find that video in a link in the description. Pole dancing engages your upper body in lots of intense and hard ways, so take this time to build up a little bit of upper body strength. No, you don't have to be able to do full push-ups or pull-ups. In fact, I've been into the aerial arts for years and I still can't do a traditional pull-up. Hi, so I filmed this B-roll to be like, look, here's me not being able to do a pull-up, and did the first pull-up of my entire life. So don't let this make you think that you need to be able to do a pull-up. This is me after 11 months of straight pole training being able to finally do one. You do not need to be able to do pull-ups to be a pole dancer or any sort of aerialist. Okay, goodbye. So there, but we do want your muscles to be ready for the challenges ahead, so here are some exercises that I recommend. Any sort of pulling motion, lat pull-downs or rows come to mind. So much of pole is about pushing with one hand and pulling with the other, or simply holding on for dear life while engaging your shoulders, so introducing this motion now is super useful. You don't even need weights or equipment, just simply bring your arms up to the sky, then act like you're holding on to a weight while pulling your shoulders down and back to meet in the middle. The more you can act like you're pulling against resistance, the more useful this move will be for you. A row is similar. Bring your arms down and in front of you, act like you're gripping the handles of something, and row your arms back, once more asking your shoulders to meet in the middle. Here are some examples of me doing these exercises with various equipment. You're going to be engaging your rotator cuffs like a lot, so it's a good idea to buff them up a little bit. Once more, starting without any weight at all, bring your arms straight out to your sides at a 90-degree angle with your palms facing forward. Then rotate them slowly until your palms are facing the back of the room. This is what I call a scarecrow, and you may have seen this in my warm-up video. If you feel completely comfortable with these, you can add a couple pounds of weight, but seriously, probably nothing above 5 pounds for this. Let's strengthen our shoulders too. There are a ton of raises that you can do. A lateral raise with your arms out to your sides, a ventral raise with your arms out in front of you, or a press with your arms going above your head. Use light weight and move slowly here. Pole dancing will naturally bulk up your shoulders, but let's give them a head start. Here's a bonus for my peeps like me who have hyperflexible elbow joints. Hold your arm up and focus on drawing your shoulder down and back, keeping enough of a bend that your elbow doesn't do its thing. You know the thing. You'll be in this position a lot while on the pole, and if you can teach your body now that it's not time for your elbow to pop out, you'll be sitting pretty. Let's move on to the abs. Pull engages your core in so many different weird ways, which are almost impossible to imitate without the pull itself, but giving yourself a foundation of strength to start out with will help you a lot when you're a beginner pole dancer. I like a good plank to train your core to pull up towards the belly button and stay there. You can do these on your hands, on your forearms, or up against a wall for any amount of time. Keep your back flat and your butt down and focus on the heat building in your core. A lot of pull moves will require this tightness to hold your body away from the pull. Let's hit our lower abs. Any moves that involve bringing the legs up while keeping your back pinned down are great to train the lower abs and hip flexors, which are the muscles you'll need for getting into inversions. Here are some of my favorite exercises. And this is a quick reminder that we're not training in order to change our appearance here. You don't need to see your abs jutting out in order to become a pole dancer. In fact, you could be a pole dancer for decades and never see your abs jutting out. It's not about changing the way you look, it's about engaging the muscles that you're going to need for this very difficult sport. As for the lower body, doing any small specific moves with a resistance band or ankle weights will help a lot with your pole journey, because changing the direction your leg is bent or the way your glute is squeezed can change the whole shape of a move. I'm thinking things like kickbacks, donkey kicks, and leg raises. Targeting the outside of the glute, especially with mobility drills, will put you in a great spot for pole since, again, a lot of moves require this awkward, painful outside hip mobility. If you're a very thin person with little to no muscle or fat on your legs, it's a good idea for you to start adding some weight-bearing exercises like squats or deadlifts into your life, because that will help you add bulk to your thighs, which in turn will help you cling to the pole with them easier. If you don't feel like creating your own workout with these moves, I always like to follow along with Fitness Blender directly from their website or on YouTube, because their workouts are free, the trainers are really cool, and they always offer modifications, and they have a ton of different routines to choose from to target any specific spot on your body. Okay, my regular exercisers can tune back in now because we're talking about grip and flexibility next. Let's start with grip. Pole is notoriously hard because it's so damn difficult to cling onto that pole. As you progress, you'll naturally develop calluses and better grip strength, but why don't we get ahead of the game and work on that before your pole journey even begins? You could get yourself one of those fancy grip trainers, you know, the kind that you squeeze and it's like, I don't know, it's good for your hand. I mean, that will help train the muscles in your hands. It is a unitasker though. But for overall improvement, I suggest going for things that mirror what you're going to do on the pole as closely as possible. Do you have a set of dumbbells with a round grip in the middle? Pick those up and put them down a few times a day. Is there a metal bar at your local park that you can practice hanging from? You could even head out into the garden with your trowel and do a spot of weeding. All of these activities mimic your future grip on the pole, so doing them now will start the formation of calluses in your sweet finger muscles. On to flexibility. Please know that you do not need to be a contortionist to do pole or any other aerial sport. I still don't have my full flat front splits, and I am forever away from my middle or box splits or things like that. And I think I'm a great pole dancer in training. But taking the few weeks before your journey starts to give yourself a base of flexibility will make you so much happier when it comes time to train those flexy moves. But you should have plenty of time. It would be wild to me if you learned any moves that required a ton of flexibility within the first even like 6 weeks of your pole journey. So if you start now, you'll be streets ahead.
Know what I mean?
I don't.
You're not alone in this case.
Pierce, stop trying to coin the phrase streets ahead.
It doesn't matter if you follow a YouTube tutorial or a yoga video or the exercises your chiropractor gave to you, or you just noodle around doing some stretches. Inviting that flexibility and movement into your body now is a great thing. Now that your body is prepared for pole dancing, let's ready your mind. I've talked about this in a few videos now, but pole is mentally challenging and it can feel frustrating, demoralizing, depressing, exciting, scary, fulfilling, sexy, ebullient. Is that how you pronounce that word? Or any combination of all those things all at once. If you're someone who has low self-esteem and often engages in negative self-talk, gently steering yourself in a different direction before you begin engaging in this potentially triggering sport will help you out a lot. Do you catch yourself often thinking negative things about your body? Let's try to replace those thoughts with neutral ones. For example, ugh, I hate the way my stomach looks when I bend down to pick up this plastic dinosaur. Change it to, my stomach creates rolls when I bend down because that's how skin and fat moves. This doesn't even have to have anything to do with your physical appearance. Let's try a different example. Ugh, I sound so stupid when I speak up on Zoom. Everyone thinks I have no idea what I'm talking about. Change it to, I may not be contributing to the best of my ability during meetings. Rewiring your mind to reverse the consequences of negative self-talk isn't going to happen in the few weeks that you have before you start your pole journey. It can take years sometimes to break these patterns, but the more that you practice neutrality and kindness for yourself, the easier it's going to be for you to recover from a difficult pole session or a bad body image day. For more on this, check out my videos Body Image and Pole Dancing and It's Okay to Cry After Pole Class. Okay, away from the heavy stuff and back into the fun, because that's what this is all about, right? Fun, right? Yes, the fun will bruise you and maybe make you cry, but it's fun. We have fun doing pole, right? Like I said in part 1, you're going to want to collect your accessories during this waiting period. Are you going to be dancing in heels? Shop around and order the sauciest pair you can find. Are you thinking about doing floor work? Grab yourself some cute little knee pads. Even your squirt bottle and towel can be cool colors or match your aesthetic. It's kind of fun to create for yourself a pole theme or identity, which you can always switch up. For example, when I was collecting my juggling supplies, I decided that I would be the sunset juggler, so I got everything in orange, yellow, and purple. And you could do the same with your accessories. My pole theme is apparently chaos. Now is a great time to assess your pole clothing. In my Answering Your Pole Questions video, I mentioned that you'll want to move around a bit in your clothes before you take them onto the pole to make sure they stay where they need to stay and cover what they need to cover. Once you've done that boring bit, you can go wild with choosing stuff that you already have in your closet or ordering yourself something new that's going to make you feel totally confident. You definitely don't have to show up to your first pole class wearing a zebra print thong and like nipple pasties. But having at least one thing to wear that makes you feel good or that you're excited to film yourself in adds to the whole fun part of the pole journey. Because, after all, you can't wear your sweet little lingerie when you're powerlifting at the gym. Or maybe you can. I can't tell you what to do with your life. Okay, let's start building a pole playlist now. If you're dancing at a studio, you'll likely be beholden to whatever music your instructor is playing, but sometimes they'll ask you for suggestions or maybe even pass you the aux cord and let you blast your tunes. But if you're at home or an open gym where you have the space to yourself, oh baby, it's your playlist's time to shine. Think of some songs that make you feel like a bad bitch, capital B, every time you hear them. And remember, anyone of any gender can be a bad bitch, capital B, capital B. Think of some songs that make you want to writhe around on the floor. Or a song with a sick beat drop that you can just see yourself performing to. Or something like all twirly whirly that makes you want to spin. You know what I mean? A song that's twirly whirly. This is advanced musical language, okay? Stick them in a playlist. Take out the ones that don't make you feel as good. Let that playlist inspire you as you ready your body, space, and mind for the pole journey to come. And send me that playlist. Finally, clear out some space on your phone for videos. As I discussed in part 1, you're going to want to film yourself during your pole journey because it's a great way to track your progress, and you should just have some videos of yourself doing this really cool sport. So clear out some space for those videos, because nothing's worse than recording an awesome trick and then you pick up your phone and it's like, sorry, storage full. I really want to keep talking forever, but it's time for me to let you leave the nest. Your pole has arrived or your class starts tonight. You've set up your space or checked out the studio. You've gathered your accessories and gotten your mind right and your body stretched and strengthened. You've sat through all these videos, sent them to all your friends, and smashed that subscribe button. You are ready. It's a new year, and it's time for a pole new you. Go out there and fly. Bye!